Antoine, that corner of your locker room, from last season, you had LT and Cromartie. Now they're both with the Jets, both in the playoffs. I mean, do you root for former teammates, or how does that work? Because the Jets did beat you guys; they knocked you out of the playoffs last season. So how does that work?
It's crazy because for me, it's not about being a Jets fan. It's those relationships I have with those guys are pretty cool. So I like to see them do well. Even though, of course, the circumstances. But it's over. It happens, and that's the beauty of this league. You have another year. You have next year to play. You have another game. Well, we don't for the playoffs, but next year I'm sure everyone will get in here, work hard. But for the most part, it is good to see those guys doing well.
Now, you guys were a close-knit locker room. That group right back there, you had Cyphers, Jammer, Greg Weddle, all you guys. LT was back there too. And this is kind of strange, but the way that playoff game ended last season, and there was criticism of Antonio Cromartie. When you look at it now, I mean, was it best at that time for both parties to get a new fresh start? Antonio with New York, and the criticism that Cromartie got here in San Diego.
What it seems like is yes, it was good for him to get out, get fresh air, go to a different team, get a new start, and keep continuing to do the things that they feel they can do. So for the most part, that's how I took it, and they were happy to make the move and all that stuff. So yeah, I think they needed a fresh start, and they're doing well.
And last thing last year, because I would say that, I mean, there's going to be bad feelings in this game, hurt feelings or whatnot, but neither one has shied away from taking shots at the Chargers, and and that's whatever, it's going to be expected. But I think LT was on earlier saying that this was not a family last year, that this is not a tight group. How do you respond to something like that? I mean, you're with this team now. How were they last year? How are they this year?
It's a huge difference from last year to this year, and that's how LT felt, and I can't say that's right or wrong for him to say, because that's the emotions he felt and how he was feeling, and I guess that's why he wanted to move on and all those things. So that's definitely on him, and I don't think any different of him for that.
Yeah.
And for me, I know this year was a lot better on the defensive side, the secondary, and we've gotten a lot better going forward. And I feel that happens each year. You get better. And, we didn't make the playoffs this year, but there's a lot of stuff we can build on. And I feel confident about that. And it's exciting to see, to finish the number one defense, number one secondary, to get those things going it's awesome. And you have to be together to do those, to accomplish those things. And next year, we would like to be the number one defense, number one secondary again, and make the playoffs and make that push.
Okay, so I can't ask you to speak for LT, but speaking for yourself and for the guys in the locker room right now, do you feel as though you are a close-knit group? Is there a sense of family in that locker room? And there's been a lot of new faces this year, too.
There's a lot of new faces, so it was kind of hard sometimes to get it going, and all those circumstances come into play when you have mistakes made during the course of a game. And through the course of the year, yes, we have become a lot better with each other, and it showed. We were winning games, we were doing those those things and eliminating those mistakes.
Yeah.
So, we'll even be better at it next year.
Last week?
Oh yeah, I was aware of it, and of course you hear about it. It's exciting if you can add a guy like that. But I don't know how serious that was or how talked about that really was. But like I said before, if it happens, it happens. I'm be doing the same thing this offseason, getting ready to come back full go.
Well, part of that, and who knows if it'll ever happen, but part of that was that you would be the guy who might move to safety, because with yourself and Jammer, two pretty good corners there, you guys were solid all year.
Really well, really good corner.
And the idea was that you would, maybe the best ever. But you guys, one of you would be likely to move, and your name was the one that was put out there. I'm sure, again, that was brought to your attention. What do you think about that?
It's one of those things where I feel I could play, any position back there now. If it helps us win, I'm all for it, and that's how I'm going to approach it. If it's going to help us win, I'm all for it. Teammate, whatever happens. But I know that I'm a good corner, and I'm confident in that, and I can play And that's why I always say I could play any position, but I know corner is the one I love the most, and I know I could play anyone back there. But whatever helps us win, I can't say it enough. I'm ready to play.
Have you ever played safety?
Played a little safety in college.
Little in college.
Not too much, but you know I've played a little in college.
And you're okay back there. It's like a
Oh
different
no,
mindset.
I'm more than okay back
More,
there.
of course you are. Is it a different mindset? Is it a different? Clearly, it's different responsibilities, but is it an entirely different set of data and?
It's a different mindset, yes, and it's a different responsibility. It's now I'm back there. I can see, you know, a different from a different point on the field, and you can give calls, you give checks. As corner, I'm not, you know, I couldn't yell over to the other side to Jammer and give him a call or a check like a safety could. You know, safety in the middle of the field can kind of direct things a little bit. You know, safety can disguise a look, you know, throw off a quarterback or throw off their reads, things like that. So it's definitely different and something that will have to adapt to. But I mean, it's a DB position, and me as a DB and my mindset and what I know I can do and feel I can do, to do it all.